Ray Harmony here, and today on 3-Minute Theory, how to make your 4/4 drums way more interesting. But first, what exactly is 4/4 and why can it get boring? 4/4 is the most common time signature, which is why it's also known as common time. And if you don't know what a time signature is, it's just a fancy way of referring to the template or the grid that we use to create our rhythm. 4/4 gets its name from the fact that there are 4 quarter notes in each bar. Another word for a bar is a measure, and a measure is just how long the template is before it loops. So let's have a look at a basic 4/4 drum groove. We've got the grid set to quarter notes, as you can see there. So we've got hats on the 1, 2, 3, and the 4. And then we put a kick on the 1, and we'll have snare drum on the backbeats, which is 2 and 4, so that keeps things moving. And we can just throw another kick on the 3. So when you listen to that, you can hear the pulse or the heartbeat pumping along in quarter notes. And when you listen to music, the pulse is exactly what makes you nod your head. Now, as real as a heartbeat feels in music, it's not a theoretical term, so in music theory we refer to this phenomenon as grouping. Grouping is how we subdivide the bar, and every group we make creates a natural accent, and that accent is felt as the pulse. Grouping is so easy to understand because there's basically only a couple ways to do it. You can group things in 2s, or you can group things in 3s. And that's it, because anything else is just a multiple of those two numbers. So when we group things in 2s, we call it simple time. When we group it in 3s, we call it compound time. And what I'm talking about when I say 2s and 3s is 8th notes. So we're going to go change the grid to 8th, and you'll see now each one of these quarter notes is neatly divided into 2. So we've actually got groups of 2. And on the first note of each group, this one here, we get that naturally occurring accent because of the way we've grouped it, and those accents create what we feel as the pulse. This predictable pulse is exactly what can make 4/4 boring, especially considering that it's used from start to finish of almost every song these days. 4/4 is a great time signature, and it's the easiest one to dance to as well, so I'm definitely not saying don't use it. I'm just saying if you're going to use it from start to finish of your song, nothing wrong with spicing it up a little bit, maybe in the bridge or something, and that's what I'm going to show you how to do. So a really useful hack for spicing up your 4/4 drums is to create an irregular heartbeat in its pulse, which means it's not predictable. This is what I call the 8/8 drum hack, because we're approaching 4/4 as 8/8 notes, which we can group however we want, instead of 4 quarter notes which have to be grouped in 2s. So let's group our 8th notes in groups of 3, 3, and 2. So we can get rid of that. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So now we've got an irregular pulse that's not predictable, and we can accentuate that by adding a snare drum to the beginning of those groups. Then if you want to make it even spicier, you can go with a different grouping in the second bar. So let's go with 2, 3, 3. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So now we've got a different irregular pulse in every second bar. And then to accentuate that, we can add a kick on the 1, and then we'll put snares on the other groups. Then finally, to finish things off, we're going to inject some energy into it by adding 16th notes. So let's go to the grid, change that to 16th, and let's start with kicks. So we'll get some kicks in for momentum, and then we're going to add some closed hi-hats. So at the end of every group, let's do a quick 16th roll. So we're going to get this little roll on the closed hi-hats into the open hi-hat of the next group. That'd be pretty cool. So another one there, another one there, another one there, and there should be one here, but there's already a kick, so we can leave that out, and then one at the very end rolling back around to the beginning, and we're done.